Hi, everybody. This is Nate Estes and Michelle Lawson Fairfield with Mighty Hearts Project. We're coming to you today to talk about what we learned from the ACVS conference that we attended in Seattle this October. We're going to break down some of the information we learned from the doctors, what they presented, their slides. Michelle's going to run through all the breakdown on what she wants to share with you all on what we've learned. Michelle, you have anything to say?
Yeah, before we get started, I wanted to talk about something that was very, very important that I thought I should bring up now about our dogs that have had heart surgery. It's really important in my mind, and I want it to be important in your mind for those dogs who have gone through mitral valve repair heart surgery. There was an email put out not too long ago with Laura Renee about her dog Oliver. She took the dog to the hospital, Oliver to the hospital to get a test ran, and the doctors took it upon themselves to go ahead and say all kinds of diagnosis. And thankfully, Laura had her doctor on standby to combat all the misinformation that she had to go through, which was a tragedy for her. It was very emotional. It was very difficult. We have had these stories from other folks on our heart surgery dogs that we just have to be aware of and know that we have to always advocate for them, especially when you're going someplace new, to an emergency room or whatever place it is. We have our vets, they understand the surgery for the most part. Nate is going to bring some awareness on that, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I want to talk about our team for a minute. Our team, Nate and myself, we run Mighty Hearts Project, and we have Michelle and we have Jessica, who are our moderators who run the page and help you day to day throughout your process and procedures. They also help you privately, and they also run the page so you see everything that's going on. This summer, Jessica had an issue with Oliver, and he became sick, and she had, some opinions, and it got to the point where she took him in to a major place for help. And it so happens that they opened him up for surgery and told her that her dog, just shy of 1 year from heart surgery, had cancer in his stomach and that he should be put to sleep. Jessica said, "No, you're going to take a biopsy, you're going to close him up, and I'm going to wait for that biopsy to come back." And that was very tragic for Jessica this summer. Um, and I just wanted to bring awareness on that. We have Michelle, who had surgery at RVC approximately about 3 years ago, her dog Sasha. Sasha became ill, and Michelle took her in to get some help at the local huge clinic that is a cardiology, internal medicine. So it's a big servicing hospital where all the healthcare providers are there, including her cardiologist. She went into the ER and she was in there for several days. They told her, oh, she has a brain tumor. Oh, so many different diagnoses for Michelle. It was so tragic for her, very difficult for her. And it was such a roller coaster ride of different diagnoses that it just almost became unbearable. Sasha started climbing up the hill and everything started to get better. She gets a call late at night that they're doing CPR on Sasha out of the blue. She was improving. And both times for Jessica and Michelle, they had told them to put their dogs to sleep. For Michelle, they mentioned Sasha's age of being 14 years old, and this dog needs to just be put to sleep, which is completely appalling. Um, and so they were really just being very difficult and very hard on her, trying to make her put Sasha down. That wasn't the case. Michelle was relentless, as was Jessica. And unfortunately, Sasha passed away, and the doctors were calling her as they were doing CPR. Um, and she still doesn't have a reason as to why her little Sasha left her. So, this is our team. I'm talking about Jessica and Michelle out of four people who have gone through such a traumatic experience with their heart dogs. And I just wanted to bring awareness because it is so important for us to stay on top of their care. Um, Age is just a number. Some doctors feel differently about it. I don't. Nate doesn't. Age is just a number. It doesn't define who the dog is. Um, Before I went to the conference, Emmy, went into kidney failure. My husband was here and took care of our dogs while I was at the conference for 4 days. I came back and she declined. She was hospitalized. Emmy is not my heart dog. My heart dog is Madison. Um, we had her hospitalized for 3 days. She came out. 2 days later, she went in for fluids and she just tanked. We had an appointment, and 2 days later, for more fluids, but unfortunately, she didn't eat for 2 days and she declined. And Emmy passed away last week. 2 days after that, Madison became very ill, lethargic, stopped eating. This was in 48 hours of Emmy's death, and they have been together their whole lives. And thankfully, I got an appointment right away and found out that she had a severe eye ulcer with most of her eye. Thankfully, we are on the uptick from that, but that is my heart dog, and we have to always be careful and advocate for our dogs. So my point of this is to always advocate for your heart dog and your dogs. But our team, even though one fell, the other one picked up the torch and ran. So none of you guys knew this was going on. You didn't know. We don't share our private stuff with you. And I was very hesitant to do that. But I'm doing it for awareness purposes about our small team and all these tragedies that have happened within our team. So when one of us falls, the other one pitches in, and that's just how our team works. And we're so grateful and thankful for Michelle and Jessica for all that they do to help us every single day. But I just wanted to bring awareness. This is very private. Normally, I wouldn't share this with you, but I thought it was important. We are going to switch focus to University of the Florida program. We have a clip to play for you, and I don't know if you're going to understand what they're saying, but we'll tell you exactly what they said. But Dr. Chu is a fellow, and she's 70 to 80% trained. And I know that Dr. Masura is currently observing her surgeries. We spoke to both Dr. Masura and Dr. Chu, very kind doctors. They did inform us that 1 out of every 3 consults, they do about 1 surgery. I did mention that many of our Mighty Hearts members are reporting out their success and the statistics of how their dogs are doing. So I thought that was really important. So Nate, if you want to go to the video first, and then we'll talk about the slides.
Yeah, it's just a quick clip. Like Michelle said, it's just a quick clip of him during the conference. I recorded what I could. It's all on our YouTube page for Mighty Hearts Project. So you can go watch all of them in full. They're not the best quality because technically I don't know if I was supposed to record. They didn't say we couldn't, but so I did record as much as I could of the conferences, so you guys can check them all out there. I will share the video clip here. Hopefully you can see it, Michelle.
Yes, perfect.
Hopefully you can all hear it, but if you can't, we'll kind of go over with what they meant, or what Dr. Masura meant. So I'll play it now.
Then we started some virtual program, and this is Dr. Chu. She's a surgeon, and she's now doing about 70 to 80% of the procedure. We are still doing. I'm still doing surgery with her, but hopefully. So this is a 2-year fellow program. So hopefully I expect she can do surgery eventually until next July.
And you can find those statements of him discussing his program at the 19-minute mark on his presentation that Nate posted.
On YouTube, on the YouTube Mighty Hearts channel.
Yeah. So, Nate, can we quickly go to the University of Florida slides?
Yeah, let me load that up.
Thank you. We have slides to go through for all the clinics, so just bear with us.
All right, you should see them now.
Yes. This is what Dr. Masura presented at the conference. And what I wanted to point out here for the self-introduction is in August, the 2023 UF Open Heart Surgery Program began in August of 2023. Then in 2024, they started their surgery fellow program, and that is with Dr. Chu. She is a fellow, and she has been working with him. And then this year, they're really concentrating on the perfusion fellow program. You want to go to the next slide? And here's their current staff and their team on who's working and what they do. So it looks like in August of 2023, the first 3 cases was with the Japan team that he mentioned at the top of that slide. This is very important. We wanted you to see. Again, you can find all this information that we're showing you now. It's already available to you. But on the first half, if you look to the right where the orange is, it'll say first half, August 20 of 23 to July of 2024. It was 86.8 survived to discharge. And the second half is August of 2024 to current of the conference, October 2025. 94.7% survived to discharge. I did ask Dr. Matsura if we could have the statistics he did one from 23 to 24, but we don't have one from 24 to 25 of August. And he said that it's going to be another year before those statistics come out, but this is survived to discharge. But I do want to report that we do have many, many Mighty Heart members who are currently reporting out on their successful surgeries. So that is what we have to go off of at this time.
This slide was him talking about how they do their fellowship training on the surgery, not on a dog. They're like mock-up models that they work on. So they do get better at part of surgery or part of like closing up, the dog at the end time of when it's performed. That's just kind of what they showed us at the conference. And this is another video or another slide of them learning how to do bypass on a test system. Basically, it's so that they can train as perfusionists to get better on, in a training environment versus a live environment. So that's kind of what a lot of the schools that are wanting to learn this are doing as part of their training. And Michelle, this is their next goals.
Yeah, so they want to increase case volume. I know they've recently gone to 2 surgeries a week. They're going to expand their training and education, which is what he told us, and then report long-term follow-up outcomes, which we don't have those. Those are not available. But again, I just reiterate that we have our members currently going to University of Florida in real time, reporting out the successes of the surgeries. So although they don't have anything to provide and we don't have anything to provide, we have it going on real time on our page with everybody going to University of Florida for their surgeries. So that's actually great news. We see it up close and personal.
Yep.
The next thing we would like to talk about is we have a lot to report out on RVC. Dr. Mateo answered many of the questions from 2 separate meetings that we had with him, totaling about 3 hours. And we specifically asked both doctors if if one or both are doing the surgeries. Both of them separately said, both of us are doing the surgeries. I will read out the statistics here in a moment, but Dr. Brockman reported to us that staff had been using ambiguous or misinterpreted language to our members, and it has since been corrected. Both confirm they perform surgeries together, sometimes switching roles in surgery. So that we wanted to report out on. I do have some other things to report out on for that, but we're going to first talk about the slides. So this I thought was extremely important for you to see. We wanted you to be aware this was presented at the conference. We specifically wanted to point out this slide because RVC does 8 different types of heart surgeries. Oh, that disappeared, Nate.
Yeah, I'll reload it.
And we wanted to point out those 8 surgeries to you because not only do they do mitral valve repair, this goes from 2005 all the way to present. So October of 2025. Mitral valve repairs, they've done 267. Survival to discharge is 217 with an 80% success. They also do mitral valve dysplasia, which most of you don't know. And you can see the numbers here with they've done 14, survival to discharge 5. They do tricuspid valve. A lot of people were asking about tricuspid valve surgeries. They've performed 18 of them with 13 survival to discharge. They also do tricuspid stenosis. They've done 2 of those and 2 survival to discharge. And pulmonic stenosis, 16 surgeries with 10 survival to discharge, and then 3 others that I'm not familiar with. But we wanted to point this out to you because not only do they do mitral valve repairs, they do 8 in total different types of heart surgeries. So for those asking about any other types of surgeries, they do 8 of them total.
They also did mention to me that they also are required by the school, since they work at the university, to do other studies of that they want to do. So they'll do other things, like Dr. Mateo did have a talk, which is on our YouTube page, of a different type of surgery he was working on for the heart. But they do different ranges. They're required by school to do different type of studies in addition to all this.
So now I'm going to do a couple readouts on the discussions that we had. As I told you, we would talk to Dr. Brockman and Dr. Mateo Rezanis. I'm going to call him Dr. Mateo. He's okay with that. So let me pull up the documents. We finally got all of our paperwork together and finalized this week. So we wanted to bring this to you as soon as we could. So with that said, so with our 3 hours of meeting with Dr. Mateo, this is what we went through, and I have a lot to read out, so forgive me. Stage D dogs are given 75% success rate during your consults with RVC. That was confirmed. Stage C dogs are given 90% success rate during consults, although their paperwork in-house states 80 to 90%. Stage B2 advanced are given 90% success rates during their consults. Here is the approximate percentage of surgeries that they do and their stages. So 85% of surgeries are stage C, 10 to 15 are stage D, 5 are B2 advanced. Dr. Mateo got back. I would say this is correct. Maybe we do a little bit of stage D to be fair, but yes, it is a good proportion. So these are the notes that I took during our meetings. I emailed it to him just to make sure I had everything understood correctly, and he emailed me back. So ICU, there is a vet on staff 24/7 and a nurse to oversee the dog one-on-one. That is correct. Typically call twice a day for updates to owners of dogs. Dr. Mateo said I do. Dan maybe once daily in the morning unless there are changes. So Dr. Brockman is what he means by Dan. Sorry. On the weekend, 1 time a day. That's correct. If you want able to call, no news is good news. As both Dr. Mateo and Dr. Brockman performed all surgeries together, he confirmed that in writing. You are anticipating this to continue. I believe it's to be continued for the next 12 months, and I'll read that out from Dr. Brockman. No surgeries are done alone by one surgeon, period. Dr. Brockman did mention that sometimes they change up the roles on the surgeries, although still working together on the dog. So while both are in the surgery suite together, sometimes they take a different role on the dogs while they're doing the surgery. We did confirm that with both Dr. Mateo and Dr. Brockman. And just to read out with Dr. Brockman to explain things further, we operate together currently, and for the next, although it may change over the next 12 months, and then he confirmed that the emails that were going to our members was misinterpreted and ambiguous. We need to be in a position where both myself and Mateo are able to perform the procedure independently. Also, just like Dr. Masura, we will take on another surgery fellow next year. And so there will be 3 of us in total. 2 will be learning the procedure just as Dr. Chu is in Florida at University of Florida. It is no different to any other technique procedure that we trained for. So I just wanted to read that out. That was directly from Dr. Dan Brockman on what's currently going on and the goals of the future and what to look forward to as that will take place. Similar to how University of Florida is running their program with their fellows, RVC will also be doing the same thing. Nate, do you have anything else to report out on that?
No, that's pretty much the gist of it, of what he discussed. So they were very transparent with us, and the information was accurate, and that's what we're bringing you.
Yeah, so we told you that we would speak to them. We spoke to them together. We spoke to them separately, 3 hours with Dr. Mateo total, just to make sure that we understood everything, because some of the letters that we did receive from our members were very, it needed to be confirmed and it needed to be discussed, and it was. And that's all we have on RVC. We are going to move now to Dr. Chris Orton with Colorado State. Nate, if you could pull up those slides. I'm just going to read out that Dr. Orton, Colorado State University, reported out on his 2-year statistics using the valve clamp, V clamp, also known as TEER. He also referred to it as the Pascal method. We also have this uploaded for you to watch. We're going to play a small clip to show his statistics. We're going to actually go through some of his clips here in a moment. After an in-depth discussion with Dr. Orton, he confirmed his high success rates, and people use this method for many reasons, such as A, it's less invasive, B, less time for recovery and time in the hospital. Many are able to decrease their diuretics. I asked him when he was going over his presentation, he opened it up for questions, and I asked about the diuretics. He did report that many are able to decrease their diuretics by 50%. And it's up to the treating cardiologist to decide the use of vetmedin and other medications after the procedure. So if you're not able to qualify for mitral valve repair under bypass due to comorbidities such as obesity and other diseases that make the risk higher for bypass surgery, this may be another option for you. We were not educated on this. Dr. Orton spent a lot of time with us to go over both of mitral valve repair and TEER and how sometimes they work hand in hand. We were not aware of this. He completely educated us, and for that I am grateful. And you're going to see in the clips, the heart is beating during the procedure, and the clips are placed in real time. The heart is not stopped. They're starting to understand the use of 2 clips instead of 1 clip to be more successful. And again, this is called the Pascal method, and it's uploaded for you to go over this. Dr. Orton has agreed to speak to our group to better educate our members on the procedure done at Colorado State University. I asked him about the cost, and he estimated the cost to be between $15,000 and $16,000. And some insurance companies are no longer considering this experimental. So he did report that a lot of insurance companies are starting to pay for this procedure. Dr. Orton served on a panel with Dr. Masami Uichi, Dr. Dan Brockman, and Dr. Masura. So he is very well known, and he does talk to them frequently, and they work kind of hand in hand in many occasions.
That's one thing I noticed about the seminar, where they all meet together to really find an even ground of where all these play a role in saving the dog's life. So there's no pressure to go here or there. They work together and they talk together and they collaborate together. And if they think someone's not right for this procedure, they'll refer them to Orton, and likewise. So they really do work together well. It was pretty nice to see that collaboration.
And I wanted to mention that Dr. Orton did tell us that these statistics were not available up until our conference. We were the first to see them. That's why we're reporting out. I don't know of any other statistics for the V-clamp and or TEER procedure. This is the first time that a 2-year statistic was actually published. So out of 134 cases between January 20 of 21 to October of 2025, which is at our conference. That's 4 years and 9 months. What we show here, stages B2, 40%, and that includes 50 B2 dogs. Stage C, 57% with 72 dogs, and D stage, 3% at 4 dogs. And this is for you here to see and to go over that this is what's being reported out on with Colorado State. If we can go to the next slide. So as he talked about in our conference, and you're going to see this if you watch it, we have it available. He talks about the single clamp with 94 cases, 74.6%. He talks about the double clamp, which they started doing more of with 32 cases, 25.4%. He did talk about the success of the double clamp. He actually showed it live moving in his presentation, and a live clamp going into a beating heart, and also a secondary clamp going in to the beating heart. You can see the slides right here. We had them, he had them moving at real time as the clamps were being done on a dog while the heart was beating.
I believe it's on the YouTube presentation that I got.
It is.
So hopefully it's close enough, but I did the best I could with what I had.
Yeah. I don't even know if we were supposed to do this, but we did it anyways. And
Yes.
Nate held his phone to the side of his leg.
Hence the sounds moving around.
And we did have extensive discussion with Dr. Orton. He will come onto our page and go over in-depth information about his expertise on this procedure and his 2-year statistics, which we just reported out. So this is very important. 1 year out is at 80%, 2 years, 78%, and that's pretty high success statistics to report out for the V-clamp TEER procedure. And we wanted to make sure that you were aware that this is very important. And for some of the folks who are not able to go to mitral valve repair via bypass, this is another option. All doctors agree. All the doctors on the panel agree. We were very uneducated and unaware. We take full responsibility, but this, and I said that to Dr. Orton, and he said, Michelle, this wasn't available. How would you know? We're bringing it to you right now. So that's really important. We wanted you to see this, and we wanted to report out on it because it is important. Now, other universities that are doing it, they're even doing it in Illinois, my state. We know nothing about their procedure or their statistics. We're just talking strictly here about Colorado State University. And
this is the team and how to contact them if anyone who's interested in doing this procedure can contact them via this way.
Yeah.
That's Dr. Chris Orton on the very top right. Very nice guy, very humble guy. I can see why he's well liked.
Yeah, and the important thing that I want to say is that he's going to come onto our page and he's going to talk to you about his specific procedure. He's a pioneer. He is a cardiovascular heart surgeon. So, like I said, he's very familiar with all the folks on the panel, all the great heart surgeons we had on the panel. They're very good friends. They talk frequently. And he kind of pioneered this. He actually created this device. It was actually a human clip, and he made his own clip into a dog clip. And so he patented that, if I'm not mistaken. We had talked about that too. So this clip originally was a human clip turned into a dog clip specifically for this procedure. I thought that was very interesting because a lot of times human and dog go hand in hand and we just don't realize it. So I'm going to strongly suggest that if you are going to consider TEER, this is the Pascal method. We'll bring him on and we'll talk more about it. Colorado State has the statistics that are out at very high success rates. So we wanted to bring that to you and tell you that we didn't know. We weren't educated. We are now. We don't know about other states and their programs, but we can certainly report out on Colorado State. And we'll bring him on to talk further about it. So now we're going to go and talk a little bit about Jasmine Clinic. If Native, you want to bring up the slides, we can go through those. But there's really nothing new to report on Jasmine Clinic like we've reported out on the other clinics. I will say Dr. Weechie developed a new tool for cord placement and showed how that new tool is used in surgery. We're going to bring this up right now. We're going to talk about it. It's called the Kinsicon. And so we're going to start these slides and go over it with you right now. So next slide.
Excuse me. This is just basically showing how they do the chordae placements on the actual, material of the heart. That's just kind of showing how they use the papillary muscles to attach it to make this successful. A lot of the conference of his keynote speak was geared towards what he's learned over the years, because he's at a point now where he wants to really educate people not to do certain ways or methods, because each surgeon wants to develop, or maybe thinks they can change it this way or that way to kind of make it the best. Where they're always, of course, they're always looking for the best because they want the best outcome for your dog long term. So Dr. Masami was really talking about how different methods didn't work or did work, what he saw. He was really trying to educate people there at the conference who wanted to learn what not to do versus what to do. So I really do appreciate his openness about what he's learned over the years to make people better who maybe want to learn this. He's talking about the different strengths of the papillary muscle and how it tears apart and how the actual chordae tendineae do rupture. This is kind of like, from a scientific perspective, what it shows. Very fascinating stuff. But the different techniques he uses to place the cords onto the healthy tissue, so the cords stay nice and strong after repair. These are some of the methods they use to do the length and how they attach it to the muscles.
And that's the new device.
No, this the new device is coming up. This just the chordae and how it looks, but this is the Kinsicon.
Yeah. A few slides back, he had it there. He was measuring the cords with that, is what he explained. But this is his device that he created. I know that Dr. Brockman, I think, had mentioned that he has been using it as well. So that he has tried it.
Yeah, it helps them when they actually put it into the heart itself, so that it helps them accurately measure the length of the chordae they're about to do. So, because if they don't get it right and they have the wrong length of chordae, they have to go in and redo it because the regurgitation will be much worse. So it's important to get the chordae measurement right, and that way you'll get to a point where the opening and close of the leaflets will be perfect. And that's where you get really no regurgitation at all, or very little, is how they do this. So it was nice to see him talk about the device he made to help people, do a better job on the chordae measurement for each dog. He was also talking about how he does surgery on dogs with hearts the size of eggs. That was pretty impressive on what they all deal with. This is what the device looks like. That's basically a picture of it in the heart, which lets them kind of take a look and see if they're getting an accurate placement so they can measure the cords. And this is kind of how they do the stitch around the mitral valve. He talked about how he didn't really finish the complete stitch on the top because it just it made it more prone to failure. So he talked about the stitching methods of the annuloplasty, like going around the mitral valve to make it strong so it doesn't fail. And he was really doing, a good job on educating people on what his method and why he believes it should be done this way. That's placements. And it was a very interesting talk to hear all of them talk about how they do it.
Yeah. And the only thing that other thing that I wanted to point out is that Dr. Sayaka Takuchi, um, who we work very closely with, she is in charge of all of our international. So all of you know her who have been to Jasmine, and we work closely with her when someone falls through the cracks or there's an emergency. And we're really grateful and thankful that the clinics allow us to do that because they don't have to. And she had mentioned that there are now more cardiologists reviewing for candidacy. I know there were some inconsistent issues with the B2, and those are now only strictly being handled by her. So hopefully we won't have any issues with any inconsistencies moving forward. We spoke to all their doctors, and all their passion just completely shined through. And for them, I mean, their passion for helping our dogs was so pronounced, and we were so proud to be in the room with them, to be with them a lot, and to be representing Mighty Hearts Project and our members, but mainly your dogs. Um, and our team, Michelle and Jessica, keeping our page running during this time as they do amazing work of managing day to day to help you. Our team is very small, again, only 4 people. And let me see here. We are going to talk to Dr. Orton and bring him on more. Right now, we don't have enough people to help with TIER. And if we do decide to take on TIER and more information about it, I will be the one to do that until we find someone that I can speak to who's very educated and who has gone through the procedure. We are talking about that. Michelle and Jessica have their own roles to play. So we are Nate and I are talking about maybe me just kind of filling in for the time being, and getting more education on it for TIER with Colorado State. If you are exploring the TIER procedure, if you have gone through the TIER procedure, we see some people have posted about it. One recently who had one, I thought it was in maybe Illinois, I'm not sure. Nate and I are not on the page every day. We try and get on when we can. We are behind the scenes scheduling interviews, pulling doctors together. Any emergencies that come up with our members that need our help, we are doing that quite a bit. We are available, as Michelle and Jessica are also helping you with anything that comes up or emergencies. Even though our main concentration is mitral valve repair and a bypass, we know that they can work hand in hand for multiple reasons that I've already mentioned. If you don't qualify for mitral valve repair, but there's another method available for you. Like I said, we were uneducated. We didn't know. We do know now. So I take responsibility for that, as does Nate.
It was just we were honed and focused on the gold standard option, but we didn't have the bandwidth to really get into it. But they all play, like Michelle said, they all play a modality into each other, as well as the decompression surgery, which we'll have to talk about at a later time as well. The decompression surgery makes a hole in the heart, which takes away a lot of that pressure. So the dogs, Dr. Masami has talked about it in past videos, where he can go in and fix the hole in the heart during the mitral valve repair. So if a dog does kind of go downhill, it's a way to, if you can't get in right away, to maybe extend the time to get into mitral valve repair surgery, then he can fix that. And no one's really done a mitral valve, no one's ever done a TIER procedure fix for a mitral valve repair. It's not been done yet, so we don't know really what the results are on that, but a lot of information to come. And we also rebuilt our website as we're continuing to add better content, better features, updating the educational section. We're working with some veterinarians to bring some more information to you all, as well as maybe some seminars with cardiologists and our doctors, our mitral valve repair doctors, to discuss what they see when patients return from surgery. That's the biggest issue, is I don't know what I'm looking at. I mean, they do, but as far as when things change, how things look to them, they're not quite sure what it is. So, and like Dr. Chapel, my Zoe's veterinarian at the time, she's seen many dogs come back after surgery, and it's really changed her mind on the surgery as she's seen it over the years. And she's seen such amazing remodeling and long-term outcomes that but they also have their questions on what they see from now and again when things don't always go well or change a little bit. So it's kind of important that we do something where we get the cardiologists together with our doctors to maybe do a seminar where we can do some great Q&As, put it on our site. So maybe future doctors who run into this, cardiologists, even standard veterinarians who deal with it, can understand what they're seeing. So hopefully we can do that soon.
I really want to give a huge shout out to all of our members who are faithfully standing by everybody who has questions, the ones who've been through the process. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate our members who really come to bat every single day, giving love and guidance and support. Without that, I don't know where we would be. Our members that have gone through surgery to support our members getting ready to go to surgery. They really are so positive and so uplifting. And it's just amazing to see our members circle around those getting ready to go to surgery, during surgery, after surgery, all the questions that you answer from your experience. It's overwhelming to me about how grateful and thankful that we are for you and your help that you give to others who are in a time of need. We have all been where you are. Those who are getting ready to explore or go to surgery, we have all been where you are. It's very difficult. It takes the heart of a lion to get through this process, but we have a strong team. We have very strong, positive members who show a lot of love and devotion to help you. We are beyond grateful for that. I can't even explain to you how grateful we are for our seasoned members, our members who have just gone through surgery, who lift other members up, who are privately helping members in their time of need. Not only do we do that, but we have members who go way out of their way just to show love and compassion to others who need help. I am so grateful for that. Nate is so grateful for that. I'm not sure where we would be if we didn't have these strong members standing ready to help those who are getting ready to go into battle with their own dogs.
Yeah, it's important that everybody has different experiences, and that's valuable to the next member, to the next member. So any of that information is how we continue to help, with new information that maybe we didn't learn on our experiences. So that's the key point, is the community helps grow, in multiple ways, that things that we didn't know on our experiences, or things that continue to change. Things change. You travel on different methods, and things change. So we really rely on the community to continue to help each other, because we're all Mighty Hearts really at this point. So.
And we also want you to know that everybody has a voice with Mighty Hearts. All of our dogs have a voice. The successful dogs have a voice. The dogs who have passed away. We cry with you. It affects us profoundly. Not like it affects you. We hear you. We see you. And we research and we try and get answers when those answers are needed. Those dogs have a voice with us very strongly as well. So not only the successful surgeries, but those who were gone too soon, we grieve with you. We hear you, we see you, we understand you. We have all lost dogs, some that live a good age, some that are taken from us, as I said with Michelle earlier. We do understand that. I want you to know that we do and we care. I want you to know that we will always be honest. We will continue with transparency. Always transparency. Even if it's uncomfortable for us, we will continue to be that, because that's who we are, honest and transparent, because you have a very important decision to make on where to go for your dog's surgery. That's very important to us. That's why we're here, is to bring you hope, support, education, and to continue to advocate for you and your dog the best way that we can. We will always do that no matter what. We stand beside you, we stand behind you, and we'll be rooting for you, and we will do our best to give you the best information that's available.
Amen to that. With that, I think we should wrap it up, and that was great, Michelle.
And thank you, Nate.
Yes, so hopefully we will have much more information coming.
Yes.
We'll be sharing that on our website, mightyheartsproject.org or .com. So please go to our website, our new website, check it out. Hopefully you'll like it. Let me know what you think. And just more information to come. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.